Hey yo, what's up? It's your boy, uh, Melon Top Jones here. And don't mind this, I was just looking at something. It looks cool. It's new, it's cool. It's something that I kind of wanted to do eventually, but I never had really time to do it. Which was to create a tabletop um, thing. Um, for me and my friends to play like Pathfinder and something. So I guess shout out to this. But yeah, that's not what I wanted. Today, today we're doing some programming on a little thing I like to call um, the game. If you don't know what the game is, don't worry. You don't need to. Update. We're updating everything, updating registries, one up successfully updated thing. Um, I spent today doing art. As you can see, I am a master artist. As you can see, um, and what that basically means is this all belongs in a museum, and we're selling it for $10 a frame because here we have our walking animation for our troll man. And you might be like, bro, you had a troll. Um, what is this, and why does it look 10 times worse than your previous troll? And to that I said, here we have the troll attack animation. Here we have a decently good goblin. Um, and then we go back to whatever this kind of animation is for the goblin attack where he's like fucking karate kicking you. Then we have a bat with its attack animation of "Watcha!" And it also gets big and scary from being nice and cute. And then we have a wolf, and then we have the wolf attack. And then we're just going to delete this. Um, and then we're going to paint this real quick. But the reason why it kind of looks like this and looks this bad is because I don't like art. I don't like doing art. Okay. And you might be like, well, get an artist, and I'm like, you know, that's kind of fair, but counterpoint, no. So now that you're all riggedy wrecked, um, let's do this, and then if I can, oh no, where's the dot go? Where did the dot go? Okay, I guess not. Guess not. All right. Guess I can't see chat on OBS anymore. Um, but here we are, and then we have our cool little goblin merchant. He was originally the goblin, but I decided he had way too much drip for the normal goblin. And as such, he had to be changed into something else. And he was also made in a world where he was much smaller before. And that's why he looks all blurry, because I just took him and scaled him up um, without any paying attention to any of the consequences. So like also I'm a perfectionist, so if you see me going through here and doing stuff to make it look better, I'm a perfectionist, and that might be why I hate art, because I'm bad at it. Um, and like I'm not bad per se at drawing, though I am not good at it. But what exacerbates the problem is that um, I'm painting with a mouse, just a mouse, right? Like I'm not good at that. So like it looks worse than the just okay kind of stuff that I could probably do by hand drawing it. Um, and yeah, so it makes the problem worse. Um, like me being like, man, I hate this because it looks bad, and then bam, I have to I have to do it until it looks good. Anyway, this guy's probably not even going to be in the game today, so we're literally just wasting time. And I blame you, chat. This is all your fault. Um, that's not the yeah. We want big, thick outlines. Well, we don't necessarily want thick outlines, but we want black outlines and identifiable outlines. So we got a few things to do, so that's why I'm just going to save. What? Why? Oh, file, file, save as. Because I changed the thing. I changed the thing. So, one second. We gotta go. Yeah, I changed the file because this was the project that we were doing for this was the project that we were doing for the um, for the Pirate Software Game Jam 2024. Um, but now we're extending it past that because reasons. Oh, whoops. There we are. Don't worry, I know what I'm doing. So I think we want to go into entity. And then we also want to go into entity.h. So what are the goals today? What are the goals? We should define our goals so that way we know what our failure is. What is failure? Okay, cool. So I guess we work on enemy waves and enemy types. Because oh, I wanted to create blood, but we'll do that eventually. We'll do like a simple blood on hit. And the reason why is simple It's because it creates game juice, it creates game feel, creates that kind of thing. Um, blood on hit enemies. Um, I think that's it within enemies. Um, but wand parts, right? We need like some spell modifying spell modifiers. And that's gonna like look like um turns gray mana spell into 3 different projectiles kind of thing, right? Like we're gonna we're gonna do things where it sorry, I was making music with my keyboard and I don't think you guys could hear it, but it was kind of jamming. It was kind of jamming. It kind of like was like somebody on that, but that wasn't the beat that I was doing. The beat that I was doing was much better than that, but um, it wasn't that much better than that. But uh, basically, we're gonna do some like what you could call relics in um relics in Balatro, or not relics in Balatro, but Jokers in Balatro, relics in like some other game, like whatever soy milk is in Binding of Isaac. We're gonna want to create those out of the spell modifiers. Um, but I think today we're just doing enemy types, enemy waves. Oh my bad. Enemy animations. That should be nice and quick. Enemy animations. Um, and then we're also going to want to increase enemy difficulty. Um, after each wave, and that might sound after each round, because what I'm kind of feeling is like each each round, each room, right? That's gonna have um a certain amount of enemy waves. That's gonna be based on like the difficulty. Then um then we're going to each room you're gonna have a difficulty and a number of waves that you have to get through. Um, and that way you're not just like, oh man, like I'm in room 1 and I have 10, or like I have room 1 and I have 1 wave in order to get through. Now I'm at room 10 and I have 10 waves to get through. Oh, now I'm at room 20 and I have 20 waves to get through. Nah. Nah, son. Nah. Nah. Um what we're doing is we're going to have um an enemy wave per room. We're gonna do a room. And then like, or maybe a stage, right? So that's what we're gonna do today. That's what we're gonna do today, Pinky. That's what we're gonna do today. What we do every day, Pinky. We're going to take over the world. So, enemy types, which is what we kind of saw here. We're gonna have troll, goblin, bat, wolf. And that's step one. Step two is getting the animations to work. Step three is the enemy waves. And getting like variable enemies to spawn. And then step four is to increase the enemy difficulty after each stage. And that is going to look like a multiplier on base health. So, enemy types. Let's get to it. For that, we're going to just create a few different entity. Create troll. We're just going to create a few different things. I don't even know if we need anything to go in there. Also, I haven't looked at what's going on, so I haven't thought about what's going on besides this. We're still in the planning. Goblin, bat, and then wolf. And then we'll just... Oh, I forgot about music. I'm sorry, guys. Gotta open up that old... Ye old, we gotta shuffle. And then there we are. There we are. All right. We're flying by the seat of my pants here, so... Which, I honestly don't think that there's any other way in order to program. And then what we're gonna do is we're just gonna go into main. Never mind, I lied. We're going into game. Because here is where we create a troll. Or that's where we create a thing. But here is where we create a troll. Yank. And then paste that and nope. No. Okay, that's fine. Entity troll, and we just change this to say troll. And then troll. We gotta figure out how to pass through. Well, no, it's fine. We just give it we give all of them the same, it's the same thing, so it's fine. The only difference is the location. But even if, that wouldn't be the worst. And like for things, because for copy and paste ability, I should just rename them to all be the same thing, like enemy. But so we're gonna have to redo. And I'm saying this like I didn't already know. I didn't already know, but what is it? Like a texture 2D? Who are you? What do you want? Texture 2D. You want a reference to a texture 2D. Which makes sense. Yank. And then we just pasta this in. Hey, we're just talking. Now, the problem with just playing like wind noises is that it makes me want to sing. But let's just yank this, paste this, change this from troll to goblin. And I'm already over having to replace all this stuff by hand, so we might just rename it all to entity real quick. And do I need... I should be this explicit with everything, because if I'm not, then that could just lead me to doing the wrong thing in the future. You know, one day we'll create an actual main menu instead of just having a white screen. But I'm more focused on getting the actual gameplay down right now. I want it. I want the game to be good, and then we can just get a main menu in. Same with the settings menu, despite the fact that I kind of laid the groundwork down for that. Wolf. There we have wolf. Okay, we're gonna have to change a few things here, but this is good. This is a good start because now I need to go cheat off myself and figure out how I did spells. Look, ideally, you only have to think once. Okay, I just did Source Rex. So, where's Hitbox? Which, this just makes sense to do. And then we just gotta do... We just gotta change these to source rec. And then that'll be fine. Hey, we're just talking. Like, I literally just had... Why is this so bad? Anyway, source rec, that's gonna be, 0, 0, and then 128 by 128. And the reason we're doing that is... Oh wait, nope, that's still 0. This is, 256. And then 128 by 128. And then the hitbox is going to be much lower than that, but this we want to be 128. Create bat, that's still like 128. 128. We'll keep it at 64 for now. This is going to be 256, 512. And that's still gonna be 0. And then Wolfie is going to be 768 or 0768. We're gonna want to double check these numbers because Wolf boy. Looks about 7'6'8". I'm a god among men. 256. 5'12". Alright, cool. There has been nobody better in the history of ever. Alright. And then we're gonna want to do 128 by 64 in order to do that. Then when we draw, oh, that's health bar. Draw a health bat. Okay. This is just going to be the source rect, so we can just delete everything and then do entities I source rect. Source rect. And is that true? Am I truthful? Or am I a liar? Am I a liar? I don't actually know. I like to think that I have no idea what I'm doing. I'll be right back, actually. BRB, baby. I literally just put that down. Wait. Is it all the way back there? Literally just put that down. I don't know why I did that. Mainly, I think I did it because it was out of my hand. Like, I'm like, alright. And then I went and got more stuff. I could have just took that to the... Could have taken that to the sweatshop. Let it lick my lollipop, yeah. Anyway. Let's go cheat off myself again. Because I'm lazy. And, I think it's, yeah. Yeah. Okay. Oh, something. So it's not just source rect. But it is for now. No. Let's do this right. If you're not gonna do it right, what's the point of doing it at all? I don't know, Dad. What is the point? None! At least that's how I think my dad sounds. I wouldn't know. Plus entities I dot frame times this is how... This is how we're doing animations. Okay. Now the question is how we're gonna do animation. Like, that's how you do animations, right? Like what we just did. But for animation data, because, right, this has 2. This has 2, 2 and 2, 2 and 2, 3 and 3. And then if we wanted to do like a death animation or something, then we would have to like figure that out. And I could change it to be like, I don't want to say good, because this is like a very naive attempt of doing this. But because I am wasting all of this. It's like, what did I expect? A 10-frame walk cycle? I could maybe see myself doing 5, but like, geez, that's a lot of fucking drawing. But it's gonna change, right? It's gonna change. So, like the amount of frames. So let's test this to see if it works, because it should work. The only thing that might be weird is this. So I forget if Origin either this should be 64. This is gonna be weird. This is gonna be weird. And then this is gonna be 64 by 64. Haha! One Artificing game, and then see. We're gonna rename this eventually, but God's body, I can't type. What? My code is perfect. How dare you? Oh, well, first, I didn't do that correctly. Second, I didn't do that correctly, so you're right. My code isn't perfect. Where are you saying that I have error? Is it in this area? Because if it is, I totally agree. Because it should be game enemies enemies I equal create troll game enemies sprite sheet, and then we make that into that, and then we delete all this stuff because this stuff is useless now. Okay, and then we go into game.h. And then we go to enemies sprite sheet, and then we go back to game, and then we do enemies, and then we change this to enemies. Boom. Okay, I did forget about that. And then where is the error? Init game 76. Oh, it's here. Raymond. This is the problem. With making okay, so our main character might be broken, but it's fine. It works, except for the fact that it only did it once. Other than that, it works 100% of the time. Oh, I think there's 1,000 of them right there. Never mind. Well, that could be. It could be 1,000. And you might be like, "Why do you think there's 1,000 right there? I don't see 1,000. There can't be 1,000." Game enemies I dot hitbox dot x plus equals 50 times I. Or 130 times I. And then we'll see if I'm right or you're right. Voice inside my head. I'm right and you're wrong. You owe me a Snuka cookie. Don't ask me what a Snuka cookie is. Look, it's coming together, alright? It's coming together. Alright, sweet. Now we say in game.c we do int or if rand get random value zero to 5. 3, 4. So 0 to 3. If random num equals 0. No, int random num equals rand. Get random value between 0 and 3. And then else if then yank paste yank to j paste yank j paste paste. I did one too many, but okay. This should never happen, but we're gonna do wolf bat goblin. We got a goblin. We got a troll. We got a bat and we got a wolf, alright? And you guys doubted me. You said it couldn't be done. You said that Arnold Schwarzenegger never stepped foot on the moon. But this right here, this proves that Arnold Schwarzenegger was the first person to walk on the moon. So this is dope. This is dope as hell. Now, a little bit. We just adjust the placement of the numbers real quick. Actually, 1 second. H down. Yep, I'm gonna have to restart XF. I forget the exact command. Okay, things are gonna be a little bit weird for a second. But there we are, we're good. Should have did that before stream, but I'm cool. All right. Gotta get it. There we are. We got the stuff back. We got everything good. All right, cool. Dope. Now we just need to adjust the numbers in order to make the enemies actually look good. Because they don't. Just say. Just say they don't. We want to move this to be like 8, 40. Goblin. I think maybe the goblin can stay right there. The bat, we want that to join the 840 club. And maybe the wolf stays right there as well. Maximum velocity, we want this to be like 80. Bat, 80. Goblin. Maybe we keep the goblin at 50. And then the troll is a big slow enemy, so that's going to be 40. Max HP 100. Max HP of the goblin. Let's call it 50. Bat, you move fast, so 25. Wolf, we might also have you be at 50. Okay. Then we just do that, and then we grab this. We make and build it. Pull this on. As we can see, best main menu in the history of ever. Now, that's more like it, mate. Maybe we move. Okay, I like how responsive killing the wolves are. That's good that the earthquake does not kill the does not hurt the bats. That should probably hit the bats, but spells are still in kind of a wonky state. Does that hit the bats? Okay. At least we have a way to verify that the bats are getting hit. Okay, cool. I think we verified that basically everything works. We're gonna want to change it in such a way that bats get hit by... Oh man, that's on me. Yeah, we want the bats to get hit by stuff other than the water splash. But we need to also like work on the spells still some more. Yeah, anyway. Okay, so that's pretty good. Now what I would like to have happen is for animations. Animations. We want some animations. How do I want to do that? Because the object-oriented way would be to create like an animation thing, you know? So we're not doing it that way because object orientation sucks. So we're gonna think about this in a slightly different way. And that way is going to be creating a copy of this. Yank, paste, and then we're calling this player. And the reason why we're doing this is because I'm tired of having to go in and change the character data struct every time we make a change to the enemies. And though it would be smart to kind of keep updating the player too, the player's kind of gonna operate on a different set of rules. Because I don't think I'm gonna have the player move at all, so it doesn't need like acceleration, velocity, max velocity. Everything else is kind of good and stuff, so we don't need. I think that fixes everything. Just double checking real quick. Sprite sheet, frame, animation, origin. So, texture, int, vector, rectangle, float. Perfect. That's what science is, man. Oh, sorry, Foss. 1 second. Let's see here. Does this actually do anything? No, that just turns me up for me. Is that better? Is this better? Alright. We're gonna call that good for now. Better, yeah. Still need to go up, or we thinking we're stable? Let's go here. Okay, sweet, thank you. Okay. So now I'm not irritating myself by having to fix the player every time that we change the entity class. We can add a anim number, and then we kind of want to do a int frame num. Yes, I do. But the thing that I was trying to avoid is if I do Oh, I did not know that second part. I knew the HP .rect thing. Actually, I might have to create a draw player function. Because that but I would still have to go back and specify the stuff that would be zeroed because of how we're going to be drawing the entities. Yeah, draw entity game character, yeah. So we're going to have to change that to a draw player. Because what we're about to do is we're going to... Because I have the player as a draw entity and it makes it an entity, it's going through this normal stuff. Actually, it wouldn't affect it because I wouldn't be doing that. So, but it's probably good just to have a draw player thing anyway. Um, because then we can actually treat it as something else. See, that is a valid thing to do. Um, that is a valid thing to do. But we're also like kind of so. What did I do? What did I do?
An earnest disciple.
Hey, thanks for the follow. Thanks for the FOSS. You know, I wonder if that'll get confusing later on if like we have a bunch of people and then I'm just like throwing out FOSS everywhere. That would be fun if I could confuse people with your name. So I'm not knocking that idea. I like that idea. I just don't know where I'm gonna go with the animations, right? And I'll show you in a second. Because, like, right now, this is my... Fair. This is my animation sprite sheet. And right now I've kind of picked a pattern of animation to like and the frames going sideways, animation down, and that's how I did the spells as well. If we open that up, and which works, it's nice. Except like for this I'm losing that like eventually I plan to get some more frames in these. Right now it's just kind of like concept art, as we can see by the wolf, and then it just being a head for the attack because I got done drawing. I gave up at around here at the goblin attack. Eventually I do want more frames, but it's gonna be interesting if we have variable amounts, like if we're doing 5, 4, 6, and then how do I specify over here? And does that answer your question? No. No, that doesn't. Thank you. I'm gonna say that that's the tool rather than personal. Because I was using a sprite, but you for this stuff, like this kind of was a sprite stuff, but like for the water, that the water and this, I'm gonna say that it's Krita because that looks good, and then it's really hard to see the wind in this, but yeah, I'm gonna say that it's Krita. Krita's free open source stuff. They've been doing it for a while, so I recommend it. Where's this? Okay. So this should be good now. We want to go back here and change this to draw player. And now what do you mean? Oh, it's because I don't have one in here. Is it because I don't have one in here? it's because I don't have one in here. That's what's up. Now that we gotta... But the reason why I'm just creating a new struct and putting it here is because I don't want to have to keep updating the player thing while I'm updating the entity thing, because I'm lazy. And I think that's the main thing. I am lazy, so I don't want to have to go back through. And then eventually one day we'll probably either do what you said, create a sprite struct where they share, or just copy it back into, just convert it back into an entity. But what's happening right now is that we're kind of just developing it for the first time, and it's quite temperamental, as we can kind of see by this ugly function. But it's what it is. It is what it is. So frame number, that's going to be that's going to be a based on this, which is going to be based on its own like create wolf, create bat kind of thing. I just don't know where we're gonna free it. I guess it's gonna be in a free entity. Game. Free game. What am I doing in free game? Free entities. So I should do like a free entities game enemies, and then go in here. Now, I do have a question. And it's because this game was going to be originally for the Pirate Software blah 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 game jam, right? Does free, like when you close the thing, you don't have to free. Typically. When you close the thing, you don't have to free. This needs to be that. There we go. If you were to export this game to web, which was one of the requirements that I never got around to, would you have to free? Yeah. That's rough. That's just because I don't have a... Yeah, as soon as you close the thing equals terminate the process. it frees up all the mallex and stuff because the OS should be smart enough to be like, we don't need this anymore, right? Um, does that work the same with like when you close the tab, or because I have no idea. It's stdlib, right? Yeah, it's stdlib. Yeah. I mean that was my best guess as well. Like closing the tab was the best thing. I don't think, depending on what you mean by navigating to new page, like changing from like the game and going using that tab to go to YouTube. Yes, I agree. But if you're just changing tabs, I don't necessarily think it would. But yeah, I perfectly agree, but I don't know either, and which makes me want to be a good boy in free entities and stuff like that. Vol grind, okay. Yeah, see, doing my own research doesn't make me is be doing my own research would be like, yeah, I'll definitely do that. 100 years later, still actually hasn't done that. So we got the free entities. Now we can go in to the thing and actually do that. So troll, we're gonna want to do like a anim number of 2. So there's 2 animations, and then troll dot frame num equals I don't want to do malloc, I want to do calloc. There's 2 frames. Size of int. And then there's definitely going to be a better way of doing this, but this is the first way that my monkey brain told me to do it, and therefore it's obviously the best. Yank 3J. Look. I probably agree. Except that would imply me learning macros again. Because like I know how to do macros. Have I done them? Not really. I'm not DP or whatever his name is, who does macros to solve all of his problems. My thoughts on Mac. Oh wait, I'm a fool. I'm a fool of a took. Because Calic 2 should have been troll.anim number. Like my extent of using macros is, oh, you know what? You creating a thing of, finding the size of a array so useful, right? Because C, it doesn't have that function. Use a macro for it. So I learned macros, did that thing. And it was great, right? I did the thing and I was awesome and stuff. So this is gonna be an update on animes, yeah. So if enemies animation equals 0. If it's in the walk animation, do that. Else don't do that. We're gonna cheat off myself again. So I'm like, I did the thing. I've become a master of all macros, right? And then I proceeded to understand that you could get the same effect by just injecting the length. Is this where I need to be? Not really, but I can get the same information from here. Frame speed, animation frames. So we need to do that in NTT. Not what I needed. And then I learned that you could just input the length of the thing in, and then you wouldn't have to do the calculation every time. And since then, I'm just like, macros. Who needs them? Last frame time. And then if we go to update, we can see how I did that. So I chucked all the information I knew about. Define container of for me, because I'm gonna be honest. Last frame time. That doesn't add. My programming experience is all self-taught. So there's gonna be a lot of holes in it. Um, if last frame time. Okay, I'm just setting that to 0. So that still needs to be a float though. Okay, I can say that we have a struct A and struct B. Or... Oh. Okay. Alright, I'm down with it. I'm down with the sickness. What am I doing? Okay. So you're getting the container of A, which is B. Wait 1 second. Let me read. Let me read what you wrote before I say something. Container of AP, comma B, comma A would take a pointer to A AP. Knows that its member that the A member of a B struct and returns a pointer to the B struct. Okay. So okay. I mean that makes sense. And that would have probably helped me a couple of game jams ago when I was making a different roguelike, and I'm like, cool, this sucks. I was playing around with void pointers and just trying to reinvent inheritance. Essentially, I was trying to reinvent inheritance and polymorphism within a 1 week span time of doing this game jam, and it went painfully, as you would expect, but it 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 led to a lot of crashes. Let's just say that. um it was not the smartest idea that I could have done under a very specific time limit, but so if enemies but basically what I was trying to do was get it so items could be drunk by enemies as well as players, but the reason why it didn't work a lot is because the player had so many more fields to it, so it would mess with things. But they were also defined under the same class, or same struct. Animation. So if frame num animation so animes. Can I spell? If that is less than that, then do the thing. The thing is going to be frame plus plus. If it's equal, yank J. Nope. Yank J, not K. Also, part of the reason that never mind. The solution to what I was about to say is just not do it forehead. But I was gonna say that the spells, what I use the spell animation or the animation for the spells as kind of like a state system. And it's a different state per spell. For example, the water spell that you may have seen earlier, that just progresses from the first thing and then instantly goes into the quote-unquote dying animation. So I'm using that as a state system. Is it smart? I don't know yet. If it works, but is it smart? I don't know. So we have animation progressing. And then we want to do enemies last frame time equals 0. So we should have animations working. And we're going to test that. And as we can see, animations are working perfectly fine and definitely aren't broken in any way, shape, or form. Alright, what did I do wrong? Frame equals 0. The also I changed to be bad. But this should also be -1 on both statements. So okay, what's segfault, Chan? It's doing it. It's doing it. But I just realized that I don't set animation time, so that's why it looks like this. And that's why I think it was invisible before. So animation speed equals 0.1f, let's say. So the animation is going to be pretty fast, but right, yep. I know what a segfault is. I just didn't know if segfault Chan was like a 4chan thing or. And you know what? If we wanted, we could do animation speed as well, also as a see, now as we can see, we have dog run. Okay. There we are. But now we have dog run, we have goblin run, and bat fly. Also troll jump. But yeah, I'm using animations as a state machine. So we have a few different things I can show off. The three different ways that animations work as a state. So for that, I'm using them as a state. Yes, yes, they are. That is the reason that the trolls are mad. But the animation is just so bad. But anyway, so as we can definitely see from this, the gray mana attack has two states. One, it going forward, and which in that state it can actually apply damage to enemies, and then when it dies, it does this breakdown animation. The wave splash has that as well, except for where the gray mana actually loops in its first state until it hits something. This just automatically goes into that. And then we switch over to the earthquake spell. And then it just stays inside of that first loop always. And that's how I'm using animations as a state machine. Which, it works. Is it smart? No, I'm gonna create a definitive statement there. Is it smart? No. Is it clever? Yes. It is clever. And if we wanted to make it better, I would make like a state machine struct. And then create the links so that I get the same phenomena happening, like the same things where the state for the Earth always just goes back, and because it's in state 1, it plays the Earth thing. It keeps playing the first thing. State 2, this just automatically goes. And same with the gray mana. I like how this song's called Sinister Folks. This doesn't seem sinister. This seems like my life. But, yeah. And the same thing happens with the wind as the earth, and same thing happens for the gray mana as the fire projectile, but we'll change that eventually in order to give enemies statuses, which I still haven't figured out how I'm gonna do that. But I'll think about it eventually. So we did it. We got animations working. Now we just need to play the attack animation once the enemies get close to the player. So if it's time, alright. And we can see me doing the state machine, the animation as the state machine as well in here. So, oh, whoops. This is definitely not going to cause any error. And then there's going to be like a deal damage to player line here. Whoops. But now we gotta determine how we're gonna enter into state 1. So we're walking forward in animation 0. And then we're gonna be like, if enemies I dot hitbox.x less than equal to the position of the player, which I could pass in. I should pass in player, then player ref. Hitbox.x plus with, and then maybe plus 10 so that they stop a little bit beforehand. And then we have them animation equals 1. Else enemy I dot animation equals 0. So this is fine, but this is not good. This is fine. This is not good. Yank 5J, and I don't want that to be there. So we'll put that in there instead. And that's fine because that's fine because the animations play so quickly that it doesn't really matter. And this now presents a way like, oh, if I knock back the enemies, then then they'll go back into the first animation, which is dope. So where's the 308? So we want to do a reference to the player. There we are. And then Mr. Compiler Man should be happy. And then we just kind of have to wait a little bit now. Oh yeah. Yeah, no, that was definitely something in my head where I'm like, man, this is annoying. So what we should see is as they get to me, we should see, awesome, that works. That's definitely not scary whatsoever. And then if I push it away, okay, there we see that error that I knew was gonna happen, because I'm setting the velocity to 0. It's just resetting itself to 0, so I can't knock them back. But so that's an easy fix. What do you mean? You don't want to rewrite enemies eye? I mean, in all fairness, I should kind of just like set the I should redo this. I should have it be like update enemy. Fine. Fine. I'll do it. Can't tell me what to do. You're not my mom. There. And then we just yank. You're not my real dad. Can't tell me what to do. And then yank. Paste. Enter. And then we just delete all this. And we do update enemy. And then we do enemies I player. Nope, not placeholders. DT. And then we go up to the top because I probably included something that I don't need. I didn't because I already had why is that not? Continues, go to returns. HP? Oh, that's why. New bug, new error. Cool. Why is I Oh, it's supposed to be an entity, not an enemy. Which I think that works. This needs to be changed to entity as well. Alright, now we just yank and then paste. And this is unfortunately what coding is sometimes. I choose to be lazy halfway through, and you just gotta rework half of it. But now I'm saving myself a lot of work in the future. I hope. So how your guys' day doing? Ooh, this is a March of the Ents song if I've ever heard one. Okay, cool. Now we just do like a V. What's that? 20? 20x. 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 No. If only, you know? If only. The only reason I'm not doing that is because I'm scared. Because what is that, like percent %X or percent %S? I just don't know where. Yeah, like the reason I'm not is because of all these enemies, 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 enemies. Like, because it's like what percent %S slash enemies I. Why does it not like that? Oh! What? That's incredible! I did not know that, Yeah, why does it not like the enemies? See, this is why dumb people, me in this scenario, deserve a voice in whoops, so that smart people can correct them. Why does it not like that? And do I have to do a thing in order to solve that? I do. Okay. Yeah. Nope. Fuck. See, even when I did it the smart way, I fucked it up. What did I just do? I don't know what I just did. And now I'm scared. I'm using NVIM. NeoVim. And I do know that there was probably like a U that I could have just did. In order to... Okay, so I don't know the good part about visual mode. Because, like, my experience using visual mode is copying something, checking how much, like, how many characters it is, and then just being like, D11, D11J. Or, like, checking it, copying it, and pasting it. I'm not a super user yet. I want to be one day, but like it's just been helpful. Let's see if this runs. I don't actually know if it will or not. Hey, it does. Sweet. And that's awesome. Cool. Do a stream where you go through the Vim tutor. That's what I did. Fair. Yeah, I'm still trying to figure out whether or not I want to do Vim or Emacs. That being said, I've spent a lot of time in order to go through, in order to do Vim. So I'm probably just gonna stick with that. But okay. Now I gotta fix this. And it works, but it doesn't work. How am I going to fix that? Okay, I'll open that in a new tab and review that eventually. Because I know what I'm doing. I know why it's stupid. Maybe all my problems are solved if I just do it like that. If I enter the link itself or the web page. Whoops, I did that under the wrong one. Okay, cool. Okay. Yeah, I just opened it and put it into a new web thing. So I do actually like being able to kill stuff with the gray matter spell. I'm calling it magic missile, but all right, cool. We got some attacking going. Awesome. And we just put that there. Angle that. still not working, and I think that's just because this yeah, I think this gets called still way too often. So if we could just have it I don't like this solution. I don't like the solution. It's a ham-fisted way of doing it. But you know what? Sometimes you just gotta put your hand in some fist, you know? We don't want to do that yet. Good thing we got some bats coming. But, I mean, I think this should be the solution. And... Alright, cool. Now if we blow them away... Oh yeah, I forgot. Bats don't get affected by that spell. Because they're too high. Whoops. Maybe... Well, water will just kill them. But, I mean, any knockback is what we need. Any knockback is what we need. So if they're affected by... Okay, that kills them too quickly in order for us to see. Okay, cool. Now we just get the wind going. Get the wind. They should eventually be pushed back. That is not being happened. They're still, like, they get to the point and then their velocity is 0. Okay. So I think one of the possible errors was the fact that they stopped being affected by things. Like, I didn't have velocity actually push them back anymore. But Yeah, that's why they. That's what I was worried about. That's the thing. This was supposed to be easy. We don't want them to move, but we want them to be able to move. I mean, I don't want to set. I don't want to do the thing, but I think I gotta do the thing. Um, because we want it to get to the person, stop. There's no reason to keep moving forward. Um, but we also want it to be like. Let's see here. Where am I setting acceleration? Do I have acceleration in here? Nope. Zero acceleration. Zero acceleration. Cool, cool, cool. Alright. Is acceleration being set in game? Because I think acceleration is set by the spell Wind. It should be given a positive acceleration once. Spell projectiles. Damage enemies. So we're in the right area. Oh, this is knockback. So this is that. This is the wind spell. But what I should have been looking at was damage enemy. Damage enemy. Yeah, it sets the velocity knockback. Where am I setting acceleration? So that's what knockback is. It just sets the velocity to positive. So like it changes the velocity more towards positive. So it slows you down or it starts pushing you backwards. But that implies that somewhere I'm having a negative acceleration set. Because how enemies work is that they have a maximum velocity, x velocity. If it goes above that, it gets... here it is. Enemies. So we delete that. Put it back in here. And then when we set animation to 1, we are like enemy acceleration dot x equals 0. And then we can do the same thing for velocity. Then we can probably just delete that. This might need to be changed. The order of. So they should start accelerating positively. We do have a nice little Wolfie Wolf coming in. So we shouldn't be too bad. Alright, cool. And then get blown away. Alright. There we are, there we are. And now that it's back in the first form, first animation, that's rough. That's rough. They're gone. They're just gone. Okay. But eventually we should see like a horde of dogs. And there they are. The horde of dogs coming back in. Coming to eat us. And there we are. We got this weird thing to work. And then they start accelerating back towards us. All right. Cool. We have what I would argue to be working enemies. Let's go. Let's go. Aggressive and brutal track 3, number 3. Come in for the perfect time. So, if we go back to the readme, we got enemy types, enemy animations, enemy waves. We don't have enemy waves, so that's next. What could be cool is if we did player damage. And displayed that somehow. I don't necessarily want to do player, like, death, because that'll just inhibit me from doing cool things, like testing. But it'll also just allow me to enable player death at some point. So HP, max HP. We can just do damage player. No need for an index, and no need for knockback. I just love how hardcore this song is compared to what I'm actually doing. HP minus damage. Perfect. And then we could draw like a HP health bar somewhere. Do I have a draw player or? Because I think I made a draw player. What am I doing? Draw player, yep. Whoops. Go to def. Nope. Oh well, I tried. I tried to use one of the cool things that I had. Yank. Ooh, Mystic. Fine, we'll use the thing that somebody taught me. And by somebody, I mean Floss. S. Entities. / no, / player. Oh wait, we need a dot there, don't we? Player. GC. Yes, 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 yes. And then we escape. We escape with our lives. Cool. Now that should give us a player health bar. Boom. Player health bar. It looks ugly as hell, but we're going for a minimum viable product. We're doing that MVP kind of life right now. So what we kind of want to do is we kind of want to do like a damage player here. What I don't like about this is that like on the first frame of them touching the player, it's going to damage you. So like they run up here, hit, and then you're gonna get hit again once the animation is done. Again, over and over and over. We need to add iframes to the player. See how quickly you die? It's terrible. It's awful. Nobody likes that. But I mean that's good enough for now. That's good enough for now. We're eventually gonna want to change that to be like enemy dot damage. We go here. Do float damage. Go back here. Look, sometimes you just gotta bite the bullet and do the thing, because if you don't, you're just kicking the can down the line. Definitely not me, just assigning basically random values. Alright, cool. There we are. We got enemy damage in. We did more than what we set out to do today, so good job, guys. Enemy waves. So right now, what we have going is when the game starts, I just spawn 1,000 enemies of random types, and then I'm like, go have fun, guys. Which valid technique, if we're being honest. But what we really want is something different, and This is going to be trickier than what I initially thought it would be, but not by much. And what I mean by that is we're kind of going to have to set up the room selection area. We're going to have to set up the room selection area in order to be like, all right. Well. I don't think that's true. I'm an idiot. We'll still have to do the room selection thing. But it'll be fine. Yeah. It's fine. We still have to do the room selection area, but the reason why it was trickier is because I thought that I would have to do that as well in order to do this, but no, it's fine. So basically, we're gonna need a game. We're gonna need to set up some more variables in game. And then we're gonna want to do like let's create a new area. Wave variables. Int wave int max wave int wave delay, and then enemies live. I think that's everything we need to do to set up waves and enemies to spawn. Okay, cool. So we'll go here. No, we'll go here. We'll go here. And then we'll change this to games dot wave equals 0 games dot max wave equals 10 game dot enemies to spawn equals 10 game dot, or let's do 1 game dot wave delay equals 3. So that'll equate to like a 3-second delay. And then game enemies alive equals 0. Alright, cool. Then here will be, let's just create a new function real quick called void spawn enemies. And then game start game. And then yank pasta. guess we'll just put that here. So, Foss, how do you know so much about programming? Considering I don't necessarily know where to go with the conversation. Assuming you're still in here, Foss. Update enemies, so we can just put this. And if game dot equals 3 if game wave delay is greater than 0, game delay minus equals dt. And then if game wave delay is less than or equal to 0, then we spawn enemies. Ah, sweet. Don't even need the ampersand. Cool. And then we go to spawn enemies. And then we're gonna have to change that because it's wrong and dumb and awful. So, nope. Enemies to spawn. There we are. So now we're like, if enemies alive equals 0 and game wave delay is less than 0, we're going to have to D3J. So wave game delay, game wave delay, then bam, well, bam, awesome, then spawn stuff. Then we're going to be also here, we're going to be like game wave plus plus. And then in spawn enemies we'll say times game wave. And what that'll hopefully just do is 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's change. Let's see here. So if we don't have a way of telling enemies alive. How many enemies there are. and then up here we're just going to be like game enemies alive equals game enemies to spawn times game wave for now. And then I guess in the enemies, I don't like this. Like, whatever happened to separation of powers, man? So, because the alternative is the alternative that? I think the alternative is that. Yeah, because the alternative is going into spell and going through and deleting it, or having the game change it that way. So, like, the smart thing to do would be whenever the entity dies, just have it subtract itself to -1. Like enemies alive -1 whenever it takes enough damage to die. But I don't want to like inject game into update enemies and then damage enemies just to have it do that. Is that wrong of me? Maybe. Considering the I guess I could do like a game enemies alive. Oh. And then we go to update enemies. Int star enemies alive. Go in here. And enemies alive. Oh no. Okay, there we are. Does that make sense to do? I don't think so, because we're undoing what I just did. Shush. Because it's damage enemy that I really need to do. Because what's gonna happen is in damage enemy, it'll be like, oh no, I've been damaged. Oh no, I am now dead. And as such, we need to send back send back the signal like, oh, I'm dead now. Ooh, what if we set a recently dead flag. And recently dead. This is dumb. This is dumb. This is so dumb. But we do the int star enemies alive. We also go in here. Enemies alive. Enemies. We do that as well. And what we're doing is we're creating a flag that gets set in damage enemy. We're setting that where it'll be like enemies alive, comma. So damage enemy will be like if enemy idx.hp is less than and equal to 0, do enemies idx dot recently dead equal to 1. And then we can do this if enemy recently dead equals 1. Enemy recently dead equals 0, but enemies alive, and we want to dereference this, equals enemies alive minus 1. Cool. Because we're geniuses. And then because we set it to 0, perfect. That is so dumb. You know, like when somebody tells a joke and you're just like, man, that is just so dumb. So dumb. That is that code right there. Alright, now we gotta go into game. Alright, sweet, we're passing that. So I guess now we just test that. We test that, see if it works. And what I should do actually is I should communicate this by drawing some UI. So if game dot wave delay is greater than 0, then draw text as a text format. Wave start in %i. No, %i. And then game wave delay. And I'm realizing that that needs to be a %f now. Position. Virtual screen width divided by 2. Virtual screen height divided by 2. This is kind of temporary, so I don't know if we care, but 32 and black. And then we'll also just basically do the exact same thing over here. Except for we'll just do the wave number. And what we want to see is that just go up over time. Game wave, I think. Game max wave. And then we'll change that position to be minus minus 100, sure. And then we'll have that at 100. So that should be at the top right of the screen. Okay, cool. That's over there. Unable to be seen. So minus 400. And then if alright, game.wave delay. That needs to be a float. Because we're subtracting the things away. Okay, wave constantly increasing. Not good. Why is this not working? Tell me why. So, if game wave delay minus equals if enemies alive 0 and so this is what's up. If enemies alive is 0 and this is 0. Why do I have this? This should be like that or something. There we are. So in 3 seconds, bam. All right, cool. So I think that's why I had that. And then I should have enemies alive somewhere. Oh, I need to kill this dude, actually. Oh, I don't have to blow him back. Because he'll actually stop in front of me, and I can't die. My health might be 0, but I can't die. Okay. Cool. Let's also do game enemies alive equals 0. Because that'll mean, won't it? Then for this guy, we got to water smack him. Because he's a bat and he just flies over everything. So this works like we want it to some extent. Except for the fact that it doesn't. But it's fine because it's temp UI anyway. We'll want that to eventually be here, and then we'll want it to go away eventually. And then for this, now I could technically kill him this way. New way starts in 3, 2, 1, and we still want that. Cool. We technically have a game. Now, yeah, we technically have a valid game, guys. It's like a zombies game, and it might not be fun. But we do have a game. The game technically has a progress. As it's just a high wave game at the moment. But we do technically have a game. And we'll eventually have to set it so that entities can't go over 1,000 because it'll try that. And I'm fairly sure the answer to the game is quite literally just having the splash spell down. Fairly sure that is the solution to the game. But yeah, we technically have a game. That's awesome. Let's see here. Let's see here. What are we doing? I guess next would be actually having it so that we go back to the rounds, which is why I said waves were tricky, which was in order to do waves properly, we would have to get to like 10 waves and then be like, all right, we're done. And then kick you out to some menu that is not the main menu. And then increase difficulty by saying, I'm like, wait a minute, that's a weird time to have a glitch in the system, man. Which you want to be like, hey, do you want to buy some stuff, man? And at that point, you could buy items from the shop. And then once you like spent all your gold and stuff, then you would go back in, and then you would go on to the next round or ante. And so we do have a game. Awesome. And I just kind of want to get to wave 10 just to... There's no reason to, right? Oh, whoops. But hopefully I didn't change anything. But the reason that there's no reason to is because at no point am I checking if we get to the maximum wave. Oh no, I'm dead. That sucks. But yeah, there's at no point did I check if we're getting to the maximum wave or not. and then we'll do that. So, okay. So let's turn this into a list real quick. Enemy waves, done, kind of. And then increase enemy difficulty after each stage. The easy way to do that is just to be like float diff mod. Alright, and then we go back in here. We gotta add the diff mod in here. And then, because I'm lazy, we are v yank. So, basically, for now, what this is gonna be is this is going to be a multiplier on max HP. And this is going to be a multiplier on damage. And that's going to be universal across the board. And basically it's just going to be, nope, not that. Percent thing. So, game. Why you mad, bro? Why you mad, bro? And then that's going to be like 0.001 or something. 0.01. We can just do something. And I should be putting the F there, but so we'll actually immediately retract what I just did and be like float diff mod equals game wave times 0. Times 0.5, right? And then that, by having that be so much, by having that be so high, we can actually feel the difference between the waves. Can you feel it now, Mr. Krabs? So, like, at wave 1, your boy over there should have 150 health. Wave 2, it's gonna be Mr. Troll's gonna have 200 health, while the dogs should have Something. They should have something. And the goblins should still have the same as the dogs. And then we should see 1, 2, 3, 4. I think that's a lot more than it once was. We really got to get another way in order to herd the bats here. But yeah, you can definitely see how slowly they died there. And then I think it was like 10 in order to kill the dogs. I think it was like 10 to kill the dogs. This should be like 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And then it should still be the same in order to kill a goblin. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Cool. We got scaling difficulty. Bam. The dumb way, yes. But it exists. Which is kind of like the important thing. And I do enjoy how the trolls are just so slow that water keeps them at bay. But alright, we have scaling difficulty that like isn't implemented how we want it, as in like how it scales, but it is in fact implemented, and we can actually just do that to be 0 right now, or yeah, 0. So it's a 0% increase in difficulty right now. And then we did it. We did basically everything that we wanted to do today. I've also been streaming for 3 hours. All right, cool. Cool. Well, good job, guys. We did it. We made it. We're loved and we're hated. So I think what we're going to want to do is we're going to do create a shop area. Create next, I guess, yeah, create shop screen. And then that's going to be actually down there. Create items to buy. Create, yeah. We're going to want to create a shop area. Create player gold. So that we can actually buy stuff from the shop. Create shop screen. That'll, I'm gonna have to draw that. Ugh. Alright. Create shop screen. Create the shop area. And then create transitions from wave to shop and shop to wave. And so after we get this done, we kind of have the minimum viable product, right? Like no music, no anything. Just right, we'll try to get a main menu screen. And then we'll have wave starts in 3 seconds. That should disappear because we'll fix that right now. Where am I drawing? Might want to move some stuff around so I'm not scrolling forever, but enemies alive equals 0. So, and then that disappears. Wonderful. So like essentially, we wouldn't have these. Like, let's play pretend for a second. We don't have these. We're going. Maybe this only has like one wave. We'll change this a little bit so that you can actually kill bats with the gray mana. Maybe we'll have it so it shoots at the closest thing, but let's just pretend that we don't have these for a moment, or let's pretend that we just have these two. And then we actually keep wanting to do this until that gets closey. Bam. Now we're like, okay, let's go to the shop, and it's because the game is still going, we'll actually have that set up, but we'll have that set up over there. And then it's like, I know it's hard to see right now, but there is air converter right here. It'll have these 3 up there, and then let's say you only have enough, like it'll have all these up there, but you only have enough to buy one, and then you do it, and then you're like, oh shit, dude, entirely different spell, bruh. So cool. And then you go back in. The difficulty modifier might not get set up for that yet. And then you do that like maybe 2 more times, and then a boss comes in, and then you're like, oh no, the boss, right there. You defeat the boss, assuming you can. Another shop. Difficulty thing gets set higher. Eventually you buy like all these. You buy some other runes that are like, when you do the thing over this, it does something cool. Right? Like it'll augment the spell in some way. So maybe it's like there'll be more types of these. I wonder what does more damage. I think I determined that that's just better in all situations. So that'll be yeah, I think that kind of explains the minimum viable product for the game. Let's change this back. The trick would be how to get it so how to figure out how to do the cool things and what those cool things are. And that's just brainstorming, which I don't have to do today. Yeah. So far, spell's kind of overpowered, but like we don't really have to worry about that until later. Because obviously Rock Slide better than the gray mana. But no. So it's really cool that we actually have a game now. I'm very happy. Now we just need to get a shop in. We get a shop in, and then we get cool items in. And gold. And then that's the MVP, guys. That's the MVP. So, I mean, thank you so much for watching. I think that's where we're going to end it. For today, we basically got through all the enemy stuff that we needed done. It is Sunday, so I will be streaming tomorrow. Do I need to go into work tomorrow? I don't think so. I don't think I have any obligations that say I have to go into work tomorrow. So I'll be streaming again tomorrow, probably from 7 to 10, and then we'll be back to it. Maybe before then, I'll go in and do some art for the shop. And maybe I'll redo some art for these guys to make the animations look more like the goblin thing. And by that, I mean actually better instead of that seizure that the troll is having. And we'll also maybe change the dog. The bat looks good. Or in the very least, it doesn't look terrible. The dog just doesn't have any frames. And we might not even know that that's a dog. But yeah. We'll go in. I'll try to go in, do some work on the things, clean that up, get some shop art going, and then either we'll do that at the start of the stream next or tomorrow. Cough, cough, next time. And then we'll be working on the shop after that. So, thank you guys all for watching. If you like the stream, follow it. And we'll be continuing on the game dev journey. I also have a YouTube channel. Under Immense Druid. And so you should go check that out as well. I'm going to be posting all of these streams over to there so you can catch the VODs if you miss one. And yeah. We'll see y'all next time. Peace.